Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Cormac has crunched the numbers. He's done it all himself because I cannot do maths with any sense of it. Quick math, I'll leave up to you and the team called Quick Math. But it is 8 points on average for PG18 so far. Yes, we're only on the opening few games, right? We've not even hit the first 8 games. But I believe, again, Toby, I know you watch these things, so you can just come back to me. Hit me up on WhatsApp or Twitter or whatever you're going to do. But I think last season you said it was either 7 or 8 points per game. It's like the magic number to be in the best spot possible. Well, so far, PG18 are doing it. They're up at 51. They're in 3rd place. But 3D Max, after that win, have found themselves ahead of Milky Way and taken that 1st place. Interestingly enough, though, despite what Tornado had this time around, it still sees them down outside the top 12.
It definitely does. We're seeing a bit of a divide even already. It's not much, but there's a small pattern being in place, like where like Unity only have 10 points and then they have Airstation Mike in 26, and that's only kind of 2 places. I know it's down at the bottom, but I expect it to be a little bit closer. I think it's because the leaderboard right now is a little bit more top heavy with the likes of 3D Max, Milky Way and PG18 being very consistent with their results.
Well, consistency is going to be key as always with this as we head on to game 3 of today. Match 7 overall out of the 48 for the final stages of Phase 3 PUBG Europe Contenders. And we have another fair play, and we're loving the fair playings today.
But will it be a fair circle? Because honestly,
I can't promise that.
I don't think that last game was too enjoyable for a lot of these teams. First circle was okay, right? You know, Phase 1 is standard. But Phase 2 onwards, it just kind of kicked a lot of these teams in the face. Now, we will see, of course, InsideGames go into Los Leones. So, yeah, it seems like they're going to head into Los Leones straight away. Jokers will now go into La Cabrera. Seems like that it's their kind of nice area. Away from the rest of the teams, they'll loot up and then rotate from there. PG18 holding on to Impala, kind of south coast. It's where they like to land. And, of course, last crew going down just down south in Porto Paradiso.
And for last crew, they went on the crazy rotation last game.
Yes.
They went up north, and then they went all the way back down south through the blue and tried to pop up to avoid Los Leones any way they could. And even then, they still managed to walk away with 6th place and 3 kills. I think they felt they spent most of their days running, as we may get a slight island. We may get Los Higos come into this if we stay down in the south. But the circle is all the way over towards the west. And we have no teams that like to play on this position. But we might see a fight straight off the bat here. Kadoran, an Active. First damage done. An Active, you can push for this now. 19 bullets to try and make it work. His teammates there to back him up. And that is just played to perfection. That's how you do it. That is exactly what you do. An Active was there, Snoopy waiting in the back lines. They had each other's back. They made sure it was covered. They got the easy kill, and that was not a big risk for them.
That's a good start for Unity. We've seen Team Oops kind of be very effective in these 1v1s, but with the backup that Unity had, it was a good start to get that first killer blow of this game. But with these teams and the likes of them, Quick Math, Airstation Mike, ELGIGANTEN above them, all outside the circle, they're going to have to get those quick rotations out there as quickly as, sometime in the next couple of minutes. Because when we look at it, it's very north heavy of the circle. All the teams are kind of in some way inadvertently camping the edge of the circle just based on where that phase one circle ended up.
I want to see who's going to go for Valdemar first. Because if it does ever go to the island, you can control one of the bridges as well. 3D Max could have quite an easy from Monte Nuevo down south and find their way into it if they wanted to. Moops double. He's being cautious. He knows his teammate's gone down already, and he's seemingly aware that some of the Unity players could still be close by. Orange is just around the corner. We can see it thanks to X-Ray as double. Ever so slowly creeping forward. Doesn't want to make too much noise with this one. Wants to play it to perfection. But could he find himself going past Orange here? And that would be so bad. He's trying to check all of it, but there's just so much terrain, so much landscape. Yep. Double's going to have no idea. Oh, he takes some shots and Double goes down. He was the huge player for Moops coming into that previous game to help him rack up kills. But this time, he's going down without a fight. Unity starting off with the opening 2 kills. And Moops, they are not having a comfortable day this time around. They went 14th last time. In game 1, they had a much better game. It was 4th with 12 kills. But they cannot afford to be going out early again here.
And it's one of those things where he he was looking in the wrong direction at the wrong time, and yeah, that shot came through, and now we see the rotation starting to come out for these teams. Tempest already inside the circle, but they want to get more in the central right. They're heading outside ToWzErA, holding on to the high ground. You do have 3D Max who are a little bit split up. They do like to land around Monte Nuevo, so now they're just going to kind of look to maybe get together, because we saw what a strong 14 3D Max can do. They've been very good in these games so far in the final stage. So if they just want to continue that dominance, they just got to stay consistent, stay together, and get those results in on the board. As Jokers, they're up north. They're going to have a generally an easy path into the west side of the circle, right? Because there's just one straight road past El Pozo heading into south. But it's after that, it's kind of like, okay, do they go to Valdemar? Or do they go into the mountainside to the east of that road? It's going to be difficult. They'll definitely want to choose their place very wisely.
Now, when it comes to talking about Valdemar, you'll be able to take a lot of control, but you obviously have to hope the circle's going to go your way. Another thing to note as well is the teams that are rotating at the moment, the fastest is Milky Way and 3D Max, all in their vehicles. Milky Way are very close as well. They have got down into a solid position, aiming for dead center by the looks of it. Eventually, they might work their way up, or they'll just hold on to this and try and catch some of the teams. Because remember, a lot of the teams will just rotate around Los Leones. They're not going through it. It's not worth it.
Exactly.
So Milky Way know that a lot of teams will probably try and bypass them. So if they can hold up here before others and then have the element of surprise on their hands, you never know what could happen.
Well, we're seeing PG18 doing something like that. They're rotating to the south of Los Leones. With Airstation Mike, they're rotating to the north of Los Leones. As we put it onto YMCA for now, they are a team that like to play very safe to begin with, hold a good position. They're being very confident that the circle is going to go in their way for phase 2 at least, but with quick math around them and even Tempest and the likes of BetterLuckNxTime going in from the north, they'll want to be very aware of their position, that it could get pushed on by any of these teams.
Now Tornado, 8 kills and a 5th place on the first Miramar game of today. This is the last Miramar game of today before we move on to Sanok to close things out with. But can Tornado have some other success here? Can they give them a little boost of points they would desperately need? Jupesic, he's going to find himself being picked off out of the buggy as well. That's the worst. Oh no, Wanderer. Oh, dead. That's it. Bones broken, body snapped. Bike is now splattered across the road. And LC, they'll live happily ever after, knowing that PG18 won't stand a chance.
That's going to be tough to get off the bumper, though.
Need a bit of spit shine.
Yeah.
Proper elbow grease rubbing it. It's like, I really liked my car. Then you have to ruin it with your blood and your body.
It's going to require a top car wash, you know.
Oh no,
the
Diggory.
gold standard.
Diggory abandoned the buggy, still took extra damage, and he's just hoping that he can hide down now. The benefit of Miramar is little places like this.
Yeah, true. True.
Where you can just find that desperate cover you need. Long range shots happening here. Who's that? Is that Tornado shooting up against Jokers?
Yeah, it is.
And we're playing the long range game, boys. I want to get first person on this. Who's actually able to hit some shots?
While we're getting a little bit of passiveness with the rotation comes there, I do want to point out that YMCA held on to that compound very effectively.
Oh no. Oh, that was awkward. Yumika got slowed down by Recrent's car. Hugstar able to get himself the first knock in there. That's 2 players already going down. PG18, this is not working out for him. We spoke about them having such a good average point per game so far, and this could be quickly turned around. Airstation Mike ready and waiting on the road. The moment they heard it, they started to run over to it, and they are looking to get the job done. Only Dees remains. He's the solo player for PG18.
Well, it said that Airstation Mike were rotating from the north and PG18 were rotating from the south. They ended in the same place, but because Airstation Mike were a little bit ahead of them, they got there first. And they do win out that engagement for now, as Moon from the Jokers trying to find Compat takes out that wheel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so the point is there is that you can just disable the vehicle, make it harder for them,
exactly.
and he gives himself more control going into this one. They got that nice 2-2 split going on still, but they will probably have to group up after this circle. Time's a ticking, time will tell. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We stay down towards the south. Los Higos is just about included. No one went for Valdemar, and, well, rightly so when it comes down to this one. Milky Way slightly off the center now, but it's easy for them to get in. But look at both LC and Airstation Mike. They are instantly driving towards it. They know exactly what could be happening, and they want these compounds if they are available. And for last crew, even there is.
They got there first as well, James. I think Airstation Mike realized that, and they're just backing out of it. It's not worth it. They're actually going to head to the east side of where last crew are and look to get into one of those compounds a little bit further away from his InsideGames. They traveled in that direction. Jappy going to hold on and push through, get those shots off onto Pixelix in that muscle car. But can he get away? Yes, he does. He gets out of it because it's starting to go on fire. Now he goes behind the tractor and wait for the rest of his team and communicate while throwing the smokes out.
He doesn't want those nades coming out towards him. He's found himself in an awkward spot as well. So does Solar. And he'll go down straight away. No reply coming out from 3D Max on that one. Better luck next time in the right spot at the right time. And they're just rolling on through. Plenty of cars to choose from as well.
Yeah, they were coming up from the deep north as well. I said they had an easy path into the circle, so to speak. Even though it did shift away from the west coast a bit, still a nice path they have as Muck popping shots in the direction of Pixelix. I like the way the last score aren't being, narrow-mindedly aggressive, realizing that if there's somebody there from a team, that there's a high chance there's going to be the rest of the team going around.
Now you saw just then Pixel. Nades came out very close to him, blows up the car as well, causes him to spend more meds here. And he just can't turn anywhere. He needs his teammates to help, and that's what Odstrelovac is coming to do. He finds himself the first not coming in, but he took a lot of damage himself. Now it's up for the rest of the InsideGames players to make sure they can provide this cover fire so Pixel can get the hell out of there. They want to group back up if they're going to try and challenge it, and Pixel already trying to create a bit more of a gap, moving further away. And actually now pushing up closer. So does he still? Do they want to just take this fight? You guys got to make a decision because Pixel's still very far away. Maybe the call's come in for him to say, yep, okay, time to go.
I think within reason, they don't directly have to make a call because they're both in kind of the very center of the circle. No team happens to be around them, which they don't directly know that, but from our eyes, they do. So they're just biding their time as TheTab tries to find two members of 3D Max. Sharks in the buggy.
Ooh, nicely done. Spinning it out, send him down. Furax looking for as much cover as possible. He does escape for now, but I'm sure they'll keep a keen eye on where he may end up going. And the only reason I said with InsideGames and Last Crew on terms of how they should try and play that is you either need to go for it or you don't go for it, right?
Because I agree.
Otherwise, still, if these two teams fight now, like you said, not many other teams around them just yet, but there's no benefit to this one. You're both in the circle. You're only looking to get the kill points, and it could cost you so much once again.
I really do. Yeah, I'm normally a fan of either go for an engagement or completely disengage. But I felt in that situation, with the first knockdown that InsideGames were able to hold on to Last Crew, it could have paid off for them in the end. It might still, because we've seen this next phase. It's shifted down kind of south to the east a bit. The compounds that the likes of Airstation Mike, InsideGames, and Last Crew still hold on to it. And there's still that last remaining member of PG-18, these Insider.
I love this from Northern Lights. Still posted up high, still within the circle, watching for some of these other teams rotating in. And they've actually got such a good route in front of them. Okay, bro, up on the roof, confident. Where do they want to go from here? Only time will tell. The south is still very heavily contested. There's other teams still trying to rotate in for the north. Obviously, the circle popping and how that's worked out is more teams still trying to make their way in. But this southern side has InsideGames, Last Crew, Airstation Mike, PG-18, ELGIGANTEN, and 3D Max, all in the same kind of area.
Yeah, we did see Pixelix. He managed to get away from all of that initial action behind the tractor with the rest of his team, and now he actually finds himself knocked out as Kizik did knock down Melman. But can the return knockdown come out? Will the Revive come out as Alia GG tries to spot out KnorkiS, who's in the blue zone. That's one thing to point out. It's phase 3. It's not going to do a lot of damage, but it's still going to start to hit you as the zone closes in.
I think what's even better about that is that KnorkiS managed to land that incredible shot.
True.
That on its own from up high. There's some great distance on that one. He'll now try and join up with the rest of his teammates, and it should remain relatively uncontested. Unity, much better from them this time around. It's been very lackluster from these guys in the opening games here. But could this be the one to turn it around for them?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's one or two members left of Team Moops.
Should be.
I know it's Regiberto, definitely. I just don't know. I don't think there's another player in that vehicle.
Hawkey's here as well.
Yeah, Hawkey's there actually. Yeah, sorry. Hawkey's inside the circle. But Tab finds Compot to get the knockdown. So Trinidad Energy, they have the high ground. It is outside circle, so they have to kind of travel more easterly to get in there. But they face a bit of pressure from two teams now as they make their way through. As Anukta finds Regiberto traveling in. It was always going to be hard for him. He made a direct path. He got past Quick Math, but didn't survive against Unity.
And poor Hawkey, he's singing, I'm on my own again.
Oh.
Gotta get on the road again.
All by myself.
Yeah. Oh, but the circle's going to go on him, so he'll take that one. It's how long he can hang around there, either way. Peltzage just got knocked outside of the zone. Less than ideal. And the other Quick Math players are just going to leave him there to die. He will get picked apart eventually. Better luck next time. Still within the blue, taking some damage. They're trying to deal with Jokers.
It's very tough for better luck next time.
Yeah.
Even Jokers as well, right? Because they're not inside circle. They're on the edge. You have InsideGames there. You even have Last Crew and, of course, Tornado Energy. So it's very, very tough. And most of the compounds and even most of the high ground that's inside the circle is occupied.
Faultlessly spotted the boom out first, but it's trading out back and forth. 1-for-1 trades. Jokers are going to take the advantage and going for the kills. TheTab getting the job done. Faultlessly just trying to make sure he can stay in cover. Set finds the next one. Artix is going to go down as well. This is exactly what Jokers would have wanted. They waited for these guys to come through, and now they're delivering it. In the meantime, D's has finally been found, and PG18 will be our first team going out here on Miramar. 16th place for them, and less than ideal considering how well they've done throughout all the other games. But better luck next time. They will struggle to make it out of the blue. Jokers are waiting for them, and Jokers put them to bed.
Yeah, as I said, it was always going to be tough. Jokers, they didn't move out. They held their ground, so to speak, and they spot him out all the while. Clib from Tempest finds a Nuktov. Unity trying to get into the circle from the north side. A couple of their players inside vehicles, but facing shots from Northern Light and Tempest. It's going to be very tough. However, for now, Orange and Snoopy, they've managed to actually survive. But where did
They're
they go?
escaping it from now. Limited options. They're going to use the hill, a rock, and their vehicles as cover for now as they jump out. Noki's working his way down. He seems to have the information that the Elgig players are close by. Spiro taking additional shots out towards the Unity players. It looked like it was going to be a strong starting game for them. But once again, they find themselves pinned down and completely under pressure. Quizzy just trying to make sure he's covered in that smoke, not taking additional shots. Orange and Snoopy working out exactly how they want to try and challenge this. And look at the hold that Northern Lights have over him. Spiro and OK Bro on the mountainside, and they've got Perfectix and Deep further back towards the compound. From both sides, they can fully cover everything Unity are trying to do.
That's kind of what I was talking about. Like, most of the key areas of this phase, of this circle, is actually occupied by all these teams. So the likes of Unity and even the likes of BetterLuckNxTime that we're trying to make their way in, it's always going to be very, very tough for them to do that. The grenade throws out. It goes a little bit too past Kazuti, who's able to heal up for now inside the smoke. But Hjort and Wookie Bookie are there. Lots of utility being used in phase 4. It could affect these teams that do manage to survive and get to the later stages of this game. His example spots out with a grenade deep and takes him out.
Oh, Moops, once again. It's just not worked out for him today so far. Not what they would have wanted. but they won't be kicking and screaming about it. They're still in a good spot overall. And seniks coming up next. We know how much they love that. Turbo trying to connect a few shots there. He spotted out Klib. Is he going to go toe-to-toe with Klib, though? That's the question. We're still seeing the Northern Lights players take down Unity. They're certainly struggling. I think there's only 2 players left alive for them now. YMCA getting aggressive, still wanting to take down the rest of these Tempest players, but can they get the job done here? Smoke's being deployed now as well to provide them some cover.
But look at QuickMath from the north. They're traveling through a bit of a third-party situation, and because they are outside the circle, they've only got a limited amount of time before the blue zone starts closing in. James, 20 seconds until it's going to start doing a lot of work as ELGIGANTEN going up against 3D Max. It's going to be KnorkiS going to connect with Marcelek, getting the work done onto fEJK, knocking him down. And Marcelek is just going to dance away from the rest of the bullets coming out from 3D Max.
KnorkiS trying to run around the side here. Wants to make sure he's not the one getting sideswiped. He sees the nades going out, but he's going to finish off fEJK and then move away. Marcelek, close range to him. YMCA going out now, 13th place for them. Elgig still wanting to push forward. 3D Max are actually falling away. They don't want anything to do with this.
Now that actually helped Airstation Mike because they were heading from outside the circle where they held that compound into the path of where YMCA were. And even though they've occupied that position, there's a reason why YMCA were eliminated. But QuickMath got taken out in 12th place by Tempest. So it was going to be tough, but Tempest managed to survive very nicely, leaving Hjort and Klib, as well as LGG and Example, are there. Actually, no, sorry, different team, my apologies. But Hjort and Klib from Tempest still going strong, going into circles. Phantom of Team 3D Max trying to survive. Noki is there, flanking around. Going to stay low ground, but it's going to be tough for them and the rest of Team 3D Max.
They may have got a win on the previous game, but like we said, with Miramar, it always throws a curveball at you. No matter how dominant you may think you can be. And for 3D Max, they've stood on this southern side for so long, trying to climb their way up the mountain, but to no avail as of yet.
Now, Elgig are actually kind of stepping away from 3D Max, which is interesting.
Oh, Leah.
It's tough. He's going to take that damage from the blue zone as well. Most likely going to go down if he can't heal himself up. He does, but now he's got to try and make his way into the circle. And
look at that damage just every single time going away. And what a headshot from Klib comes out. Of course, it's Klib to land the headshots as well. Why not? Yep. This time with a mini, not his bolt in hand. But Tempest still within this. Top 10 teams remaining.
True. Now, InsideGames, they hold a compound on the south edge of the circle. iZoom finds Jazza of Airstation Mike with a grenade. You got Milky Way, ELGIGANTEN, and Airstation Mike, and very close to each other as KnorkiS finds Jazza to get that kill, taken away from Milky Way, but more knockdowns, more kills as InsideGames joins in on the fun from the south side.
And ELGIGANTEN are all behind one rock. That is not what you want to see. That's one nade that will finish them all off for sure. As Marcelek, he finds himself knocked down. Ooh. They cannot catch a break. They are completely pinned. ghostar low on health. They're going to try and get these revives off, but how much can you really take? There's Milky Way, there's Airstation Mike, and there's Elgig with 3D Max now coming round, and they might be able to get some revenge here. Phantom, can he see what's going on? He finds himself the first one to ghostar. Elgig go down, but 3D Max closely following behind him as well, getting picked apart by the other teams.
Hey, look, if you're going to go down, at least go down getting a kill or two on your side as Hugstar gets knocked down by Offstring. This is Milky Way against Airstation Mike. ToWzErA finds Offstring, leaving ToWzErA down. fEJK is still up, but ToWzErA does get knocked down finally. iZoom is there, so it's one. Well, actually, Mans is still there. Woo. But no, Airstation Mike get eliminated in 8th place. We're down to 7 teams. Mans and iZoom from Milky Way, they're outside the circle. Last crew, they have a compound. Unity get eliminated. Hjort from Tempest. Now, on a side note, Hjort from Tempest was a man that got 2 knockdowns onto 2 players of ELGIGANTEN. So he did a lot of work to help 3D Max get those kills and get that squad wipe.
Well, they're going to find themselves getting right now. Tempest out in 6th. More teams start to fall. Northern Lights only with 1 player left in it. InsideGames, Last Crew, and Jokers all with 4 players alive. And also, all teams that haven't had a win yet.
Very, very true. And there's still Jokers there. One thing to notice about InsideGames is Odstrelovac is in that little hut on his own. One good thing is that he's able to provide information, which, well, actually, it's not quite to his team. Jappy from the Last Crew does spot out TheTab. Will Odstrelovac look to take that kill away? Don't think it'd be worth it for now, as the boom does get spotted out by AKA Skills. So, Last Crew taking control in these last couple of phases, in the last couple of seconds at least, as the teams are getting closer to them. So those knockdowns are going to give them a little bit extra area space, stopping the teams from getting closer to them.
Odstrelovac. Can he do the heroics again? Yes, he pokes out. And that's 2 nice swift kills for him. No problem at all. Odstrelovac getting the job done for his team there, just in the nick of time as well. And does he have the information where iZoom is? As his teammates maybe spotted out, he's looking towards that direction. So InsideGames in a nice controlling position, but they do still need to work their way into the circle. And again, they are coming from the southern side.
Odstrelovac, I absolutely love it. And I like the way he didn't do it straight away, right? So he allowed for things to die down, even just a split second, and then he got in there. Because if he had done it straight away, Last Crew still would have been looking in his direction, right?
Yeah.
So he just waited, and that was a perfect timing from Odstrelovac as the boom and moon, 2 remaining members of Jokers throwing out grenades. A good thing for them is that communication was given. Information would have been given with those kills to say, hey, there's somebody in that hood. You need to kind of avenge us, guys.
And the boom and moon are the ones to do it. But Odstrelovac, he is a titan on his own. They have a nade pinned and ready. Odstrelovac seems to have no idea. Is there anyone on his team, though, looking towards his direction? Because they could be really helping him out. The first nade misses, but it does push him out. Odstrelovac gets taken down by Moon, but he's going to look for cover. His teammates now need to provide it for him. They need to make sure he doesn't go down if they want a solid chance of taking this. Moon gets very close. He's already taken some damage himself. The boom hasn't been fired at just yet, but they should have good information now for InsideGames to play off of. Odstrelovac's definitely going to go down, instantly finished off, and InsideGames, they certainly didn't have the positions they wanted to hold on to that one.
And I'm definitely a little bit surprised. I think the reason why is, okay, bro, does get spotted out by Mook. That's going to be Northern Lights going out in 5th place. I think the reason why the rest of InsideGames didn't look to maybe be aggressive onto the 2 remaining members of Jokers after knockdowns, the presumption would have been that Last Crew would have still been looking in their direction, but Last Crew were actually rotating up on the north, and therefore they were not looking in the direction of both Jokers and Odstrelovac. So it's just unfortunate timing for InsideGames.
Now for Last Crew, 6 kills already. You're not going out in 6th place, you're in top 4. So that's a big improvement regardless.
Yep.
They've had 2 games with 3 kills and 6th place. Now it's their time to shine. Their problem with their position here is the compound they were in is excluded. And then they got to work a way in. But everywhere they go here is very open area. You can see it in front of them. iZoom has somehow stayed alive, despite InsideGames knowing exactly where he's been this entire time. Jokers are still trying to push their way into the circle. But they're lucky because they've got the hillside to hide in between. So that means they're not being seen by Last Crew all the time, and they're not always being seen by InsideGames. So it's who's going to poke out first, who's going to move first, and who's going to be seen. And here we go. Aka Skills, he comes in with the first few shots, does connect him onto Moon, but there is some distance on it, and Moon can just fade away, fall back, and live to fight another day.
Even though they can kind of use the peaks of the hill, they've also got to go downhill, and that is always going to go against them. You see, it's a bit of an open area where they do have to go down. They're fighting against the blue zone, the boom and moon going down. I don't think InsideGames have really kind of kept an eye on that direction. They're more focused on where Last Crew are and also getting into the circle themselves. iZoom gets spotted out. Milky Way down in 4th place. We're down to 3 teams. Last Crew, InsideGames, and Jokers.
More shots happening, more shots being taken. Moon, the boom. Now they've got to work out to get into this. If they maybe see InsideGames or Last Crew start to knock each other, then you focus fire one of the teams from there.
Yep.
Moon actually hits a good shot though. Damage being done. Pixel, he gets taken up. Rip, literally ripping him apart there. very quick in succession of getting that one done, and they instantly go in for the kill. Last Crew are looking for this. They want to make this happen. seniks trying to run in, but there was just no cover. This is the problem. Last Crew, they didn't have to move that far. InsideGames go down. The Boom will find himself getting one knock, but straight away, Jappy's able to reply. Now Moon is all alone, and he knows he needs to bring his teammate up, but what chance has he got? There's going to be bullets coming out towards him. That smoke only provides cover that gives him the information of where he may be. More nades coming out. Jappy has one in his hand as well, and they are somehow still staying alive. Just in the nick of time, Moon brings his teammate up, but what else can he do from here? It is still a 2v4.
They're now going to split up. The Boom will go down south. Moon should look to kind of go up north. Can he spot out? No, gets taken out 10 health. Gets knocked down to the play zone. Most likely will leave it for there. The Boom is going to try and find those shots. Does not connect. Last Crew get the chicken dinner for their side, and it's the second one. It's their first of the final stage. It's a good result for them, especially considering how consistent they were yesterday.
And today as well, right? Having the 6th place and just 3 kills isn't bad at all. Now having a win with 9 kills, they're going to be very happy with that. And I think the important thing is that they realized where they had, even when the circle starts to push them, they had more cover than anyone else. The other teams had to come downhill, and they were just playing into their hands. So Last Crew, it would take something pretty huge for them to mess that one up.
And what's really interesting as well is that if you remember kind of at the start of the game, InsideGames and Last Crew were kind of fighting for that. I believe it was them. Those two teams were kind of fighting for that compound, if I'm not mistaken. And like it could have gone InsideGames' way, but they kind of backed out from it. And I think that did help and aid Last Crew in the end. But Jokers, they also looked pretty strong as well. They used their position towards the end very effectively to try and stay in the game as long as possible. It was very tough for them going down that hill in that last phase, but they allowed themselves to kind of stay protected against the likes of InsideGames, who got taken out in 3rd place. And overall, a really good Miramar game. I feel like it was a bit more balanced for these teams compared to the last Miramar game. But because of the phase and the circles, there was a lot of the compounds that were very kind of, that teams wanted to grab hold of in like the phase 3 and phase 4 that were already occupied. So it was really tough for the teams that were outside of those compounds.
And that's sometimes just the way the cookie crumbles. We can have open endings, we can have endings with lots of compounds that then get whittled away.
Yep.
But it's how you play your position. And that's what I like from Last Crew. It was really nice from them this time around. Unity, okay, a 7th place, not too bad for those guys at all. They did get 4 kills with it. And they started off very strong, but they couldn't get themselves going any further. So I still want to see a little bit more from those guys. Northern Lights, this time around, it wasn't the end of the world. It was a 5th place, but it was only 1 kill.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's the negative side of it. It's like, I'm still waiting to see that Northern Lights that we've seen before. We've seen be able to do plenty of damage in here. But not so many teams with 0 this time around. Only MOOPHEUS and PG18. And maybe we cursed PG18 by giving the average out that they were doing so well, because that average has certainly been hurt now.
It definitely has. And then we have YMCA, Quick Math, 3D Max all getting 1 point each. That will hurt 3D Max a tiny bit. Then Tornado Energy getting 0 placement points but 3 kill points. It's not going to be what they want, but it's kind of at least it's points on the board. But this is the top of the table. 5 teams all getting double-digit points. That's probably one of the, that's probably the biggest spread of double-digit points for these teams I've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, definitely so. And Tempest, this is a big one for them because it was only 2 placement points, but the 8 kills alongside it, massively helping them out there. I think for Tempest and Airstation Mike, although in terms of placements, they're not going to be happy. They obviously want to win every game. This is the kind of step up they needed to say, all right, look, we can still do it. We're just learning how this lobby works. Some players are certainly... And actually, this is one point I haven't brought up yet or touched on, is when you play in a lobby, which like the Group B lobby versus Group A lobby, they are weaker lobbies compared to this lobby because this is the best 8 teams from both.
True.
But what it comes down to is you maybe sometimes play more, I wouldn't say more aggressive, but you say you play more out of your comfort zone when you know you are better than a lot of the players within it.
True.
And so you will do things that maybe you wouldn't necessarily do in just as an intense match. So a lot of these players may learning some things here and saying, okay, me being super aggressive and poking maybe more times than I should won't work out now. I have to reapproach this in a different way. I need to retrain myself into actually being more cautious on some of these more skilled players.
Yeah, because you can make a play or position yourself a certain way in a group stage, and you won't get punished for it. But you get into the final stage, make the exact same position and exact same play, and you'll get punished for it because the rest of the teams are kind of at a higher standard than you.
And that is sometimes how it goes down. Now, Jokers, they got a second place with 7 kills up in it. A lot of damage done, but not even close to comparison with what Last Crew is able to be doing. And that's because Last Crew, like we said, were able to set up shop quite early on and just tap, tap, tap away. And Mucky over here, he did 750 of those damage with 4 kills, 2 knocks coming in. And TheTab, he put in work. He did the best he could for Jokers who were trying to push their way down. And it just certainly wasn't easy. From the moment they even met Odstrelovac, it was not going to be fun. And InsideGames had a potential to pick them off earlier than what they did. So there was quite a back and forth between those two teams. They barreled down the mountain.
Still, InsideGames, I'm happy with how much stronger, how much more aggressive, and even just as a team, they just feel better than they did in the group stage.
Yeah, no, it's definitely looking like a hotter team this time around, but we'll see who's going to be the hottest when it comes to Sanhok. That's where we're going over to next for our final game of the day. As always, guys, go get your drinks, go to the toilet, get a snack, whatever else you need to do, because the final game will be coming up after this break.